Hey there guys, alright, today we are watching a video from Eastery. It has been a couple of years since the last time I watched this channel, I believe. This time, I feel like since we are going through the opening months of World War II still, with the World War II channel, hosted by Indy, I thought we would watch the battle map, or whatever, of Germany versus Poland in 1939. Now, before we dive in, make sure you go and check out the links in the description box below. I would love to join the Discord, follow me over at Twitch, and please do go check out the two gaming channels here on YouTube. One is for edited content, and then the other is for stream VODs. So, with all that yapping done, let's go ahead and dive right in.
In the Polish campaign, the German forces were stronger, but they did not have an overwhelming numerical superiority
Yeah, 2-1.
over the Poles. So why did it take the Germans only more than a month to completely defeat Poland?
Well, the Soviets, partially.
Germans had two key advantages. Their army was larger and had better equipment than Polish forces, and also the Germans possessed tanks, which would give them greater punch and much faster movement. Poland used two strategies to counter the German advantages. The Poles had made an alliance with Britain and France so that they could put pressure on Germany from the west.
And unfortunately, they would not.
In this way, Germany would have to keep a large part of their forces there and could not deploy a strong force against Poland. In order to counter Germany's superior offensive capabilities, such as tanks, Poland had adopted another strategy. It had created two defensive lines. The main line was behind the Vistula River and its tributaries, and they could retreat to a shorter line on the Romanian bridgehead if things went.
Oh, damn. Okay. So essentially, damn, Poland got real fucking unlucky then, right? This plan is very much them not expecting the Soviets to fucking dogpile them. And this is also assuming Hungary and Romania do not get involved, which of course Germany does end up like puppeting them or just annexing them. Right, and then this defensive line, of course, relies on no Soviets coming in from the east, and also the plan heavily does need the Allies to apply some fucking pressure. Damn, Poland, you got fucking gypped, dude. Wow.
Went badly. But there was a problem. Poland could not start the war with all of its forces deployed behind its defenses. Otherwise, there was a chance that Germany could capture part of the Polish territory without fighting, and Britain and France would not declare war on Germany. So Poland deployed its forces forward to the border to receive the German attack and make Britain and France declare war on Germany. After that, they would have to make a difficult retreat under German pressure.
Oh my god. This is such a neat perspective. I like this video a lot. Wow. Because this is stuff that I don't think was really talked about in Indy's World War II series. Okay, so that is damn Poland. Damn.
To their main defenses. On September the 1st, 1939, the Germans launched the attack along the whole front. The Poles had established an intermediary defensive line where they planned to halt the initial German advance. In the north, the Germans encircled some of the Polish units and re-established land connection with East Prussia. In the south, the Germans reached the southernmost part of the Polish defensive line. They then launched several tank attacks against it. In the south and center, the Poles were able to contain the Germans, but in the north, the Polish lines were broken. The Poles had their reserves ready to cover the northern direction. They also pulled back their forces in the south. Soon, the retreating forces ran into trouble as they were pursued by fast-moving German tanks.
Yep.
In the north, the Polish reserves re-established the front line and for some days could continue the withdrawal. But then the German tanks broke through once again. This time the Poles did not have any reserves to send against them. By that time, Poland might have benefited from a French attack on the western front, but the Allies had not expected the events to take place so quickly and did not give effective assistance to Poland. Polish forces decided to launch a desperate counterattack against the German forward units to allow their forces to escape. However, most of the Polish units were too disorganized to counterattack,
Yup.
and in the south their forces were encircled. The Polish counterattack in the north allowed some of the Polish forces to withdraw to the Warsaw area, but soon the Germans turned their attention towards the counterattacking force and cut it off. The Germans succeeded in their plan to cut off most of the Polish forces before they could reach their main defenses. By that time, they had already breached the Polish defenses from the north. 10 days earlier, the Germans had reached the Polish main defensive line from the north. The Poles misjudged the situation and their troops were out of position, which allowed the Germans to find a weak spot in the Polish defenses and cross the river.
I don't know if that would be Polish misjudgment. I think it was them really. I mean, there was not really anything they could fucking do in regards to this at this point. Right, they had just lost so many of their troops with how fast the Germans could move that they just could not keep up and retreat back to the line to then have it properly reinforced. So I wouldn't say they misjudged. I just think they got, and they just were not. They didn't have the equipment to be able to handle the new German war strategy.
The Poles attempted to make a stand behind another river line, but the Germans used momentum to cross it before the Poles had readied their defenses. The main Polish defensive line was now breached from the north. The Polish forces were now ordered to retreat to their final defensive line at the Romanian bridgehead. Part of them ignored the order and remained to defend Warsaw. During that time,
So national pride got in the way a bit here, but also like the Soviets are about to come in.
the Polish units in the south had been falling back. The Poles were not able to hold a solid front and the faster moving German units bypassed them and crossed the main Polish defensive line with little opposition. They now moved to capture the center of the Polish resistance at Lvov. The Germans were unable to take Lvov, but they cut off the Polish units that attempted to fall back to the town. The Germans were now in position to prevent the rest of the Polish army from reaching the Romanian bridgehead. The next Polish forces approached from the west. The Germans moved in from several directions and cut the Poles off from all sides. After the Poles could not break through the German defenses, they surrendered. The Germans were not in a good position to easily destroy the Polish forces coming from the north, but by that time the Soviet Union had joined the conflict and attacked the undefended Polish border from the east. The Red Army quickly advanced and cut off the retreat path south for the Polish forces. The Poles had no choice but to break through the Soviet or German lines to escape to the south. They chose to attack the Germans, but they were unable to break through and surrendered. With that, most of the largest formations of the Polish army had been destroyed. Without any help from the outside, the Polish defenders in Warsaw surrendered to the Germans. By early October, the Soviets and the Germans had finished mopping up the remaining Polish forces and the campaign was over. So, why was Poland defeated only in a month? You can see from the campaign that the reasons the Poles hoped to win the war did not come into play. Poland gave up its defensive positions in order to be sure to get the help from Britain and France. But no one expected the Germans to advance so fast, and Britain and France were not ready to give Poland significant aid so early. So Poland could not utilize the foreign aid nor its defensive advantages. Meanwhile, the Germans could make full use of their stronger army and tank formations, and this resulted in quick Polish defeat. It is time to pay respects to the E Company.
And that was World War II, Germany versus Poland, 1939 by Eastery. This was a fantastic video. I loved the framing of it. I loved how we were given the perspective through the eyes of Poland here instead of like most of the time when this specific fight, the invasion of Poland is talked about. Yeah, pretty much only hear it through the eyes of the German military movements. You don't really get to see it through the lens of the Polish. And so I really liked this different perspective, or not the norm perspective. And again, the quality, the pacing was great. I've got nothing else to say. I really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys did. I hope you guys did too. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.